Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it.
Can we skip to the good part? Hello. Hope you're all well. Welcome to another episode. But yeah, can we skip to the good part? I know so many of you have felt that way in different situations at work when the meeting could have just been an email and you just want them to hurry up and get to the good part, the part that you might care about. When it's time for your pay rise and you know you're getting one, but you just want to know how much. Can we hurry up? Can we skip all the chit chat, all the small talk, just get to the point? What about when it comes to your career? What about when it comes to your goals and what you're trying to achieve? How often do you feel like, can we just skip to the good part? Like, I'm tired, I've been working, I've been trying, I've been doing all the things. I'm ready for the good part. I saw a post the other day and it said, can we skip to the rich part? And I was like, yeah, can we skip to the wealthy part? And it had me thinking, there are a lot of things in life that we're like, can we skip to the good part? But because we feel that way, we give up way before we should. We stop working as hard as we know we need to get to the things we want. Or we convince ourselves that it's just not possible because it's taking too long. So therefore, it's not possible for someone like you. It's not possible for someone like me. So you give up. I'm here to tell you to stop giving up before you get to the good part. Do you know how many people I meet and how many clients I've worked with who come to me and say, a few years ago, for 2 years, I tried to do X, Y, Z, usually change career or get the big pay rise. Or 90% of the time it's changing career, moving into a new industry. And they were like, I've tried for 3 years, I've tried for 4 years, I've tried for a year, and then I've given up. And it's been like almost 6 months or it's been a year since I last tried, but something keeps niggling at me and I want to try again. So I'm coming to you for help. And guess what? A month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, they got to the good part because they gave it one more try. And a lot of the times, all the work they'd already put in, if they had just kept going, they would have probably got there. If they had reevaluated and said, right, something I'm doing is not working. Maybe if I change one thing, I'll get there. But let me not change the goal. Let me not change the destination. Maybe let me change the way I'm doing it. Maybe let me just keep going. Because sometimes all it is that you gave up too soon. You got a few rejections and you were like, I'm giving up. You only need one yes. Stop giving up just because you've had 3 no's. As humans, we give up way too soon. And most of the time it's because it feels hard or we don't enjoy it. And I want to let you know that just because something's hard or you don't enjoy it doesn't mean that it's wrong or it's unaligned. And the reason I say that is because when I started my business, this coaching business, I did not want to show up on social media. It was not fun. It was not my vibe. I'm a whole introvert. So I didn't want to do it. It didn't feel good. So if I went by that rule, like if it doesn't feel good and I don't enjoy it, then it must be wrong. I'd have given up. I wouldn't be here now with a whole podcast. I wouldn't have had a whole business for the last 3-4 years where I've supported so many women change career, where I've helped people get anything from 10 to 40K pay rise. I've helped people triple their income. I've had people come back to me after getting the career change and the money to then start businesses. And I've supported them with that. What I'm saying is, if I had given up, I would have never got to the good part. Without sometimes doing the bits you don't enjoy, you won't get to the good part. Like if I had given up on showing my face on social media, talking on social media, how were people going to know what I do? And how was I going to help the people that I was meant to help? Because I truly believe that every client that comes into my world and everybody that I support, I am meant to help. God has given me a talent. I don't know why. I don't know how, but he has. And there are certain things that I'm able to do that support other people to achieve their dreams when it comes to their career, when it comes to their money, when it comes to their confidence. But none of those people would have known who I was If I just was like, I don't like this part's too hard. It's just like at work. I remember a point when I was working in recruitment and I was like, I really hate the admin. But don't get me wrong, I'm good at it. I'm actually pretty good at it. Like, I double and triple check things, you know. I'm a recovering perfectionist, so I try my best to like not make mistakes. I'm really good at like going over things really quickly and making sure I don't make mistakes. I'm good at the admin. I don't like it though. I was really good at payroll. I changed our whole system in my last job. I don't like it though. But sometimes to get to the good part of payroll is everyone gets paid. I like when all my staff get paid. I like when all my staff get their bonuses. But if I don't do the boring bit at the beginning or the bit that I don't enjoy as much, I couldn't get there. When it comes to me and social media now, I don't mind showing up. I like showing up. I still get nervous before I show up on a live. I still get nervous before I record a podcast episode. I still get nervous, but I enjoy it. The reason I enjoy it is because I found alignment, found what I'm good at. I found my sweet spot. I'm good at what I do. And I've got so much better at showing up online, like so much more comfortable because I just kept doing it. Practice makes progress. The more you do something, the more comfortable you get with it. When you first got on a bike, you could not ride. Nobody's born with the ability to ride a bike. I remember when I had to teach my daughter, it was hilarious. Guess what? We got there and she learned how to ride. Just like I got there, just like you got there, if you can ride. I know a lot of adults that still can't ride bike. Guess why? You gave up before you got to the good part. You fell over a couple times and you said, nah, I'm done with this. Guess what? The good part, you know how much fun it was for me to be able to ride with my daughter? Do you know how much fun it was for me able to ride with my friends when I was growing up? Ride really far as well. Like when I was a kid, I thought I was going really far. Well, I was. I'd go over to like the next town over. Do you know how fun that was? Meeting random people as a teenager because I ride. And then people asking me like, right, you ride? Yeah, I ride. I ride a bike. I love it. When you first got in a car, didn't know how to drive it. You had to keep going. Guess what? Things like driving, we're willing to keep going because we're like, we really want to drive. They both can be scary, like learning how to ride a bike, learning how to ride a car. I definitely know driving a car, like learning how to drive a car was extremely scary for me. The first time after I passed my test that I had to drive my car alone without my instructor, I pulled over and burst into tears because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing and I needed someone next to me to tell me what to do. They both, like I said, learning to ride a bike, learning to drive a car, scary as hell at the start. A lot of times you don't enjoy what you're learning. But what's the alternative when you give up? Me having to stand at the bus stop in the rain, in the cold? No, I'm not doing that no more. Even now, when my car's gone in for MOT and I've got to do that, I'm stressed. Me not just being able to jump in my car and leave a party because my introvert self didn't even want to go in the first place. And now I've had enough and I've used up all my energy and I need to go home. Absolutely not. At the beginning, I didn't want to keep going to my lesson. Hated lessons. My mum actually booked my first lesson because I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm never going to drive. And now I can't imagine not driving. It's the same with your career. Right now, you can't see yourself getting that career change because maybe it's been hard. Maybe you can't even book interviews. Maybe you struggled after you've got the interviews and you're just not getting offers. Guess what? When you make that change, you're going to be like, can't imagine life before it. Like I was a whole early years teacher. I managed a nursery. And then I went into human resources and recruitment. I don't even remember that older Dell. Well, I remember her, but I'm not her. I can't imagine life not being in recruitment. I can't imagine life not have been in HR. I can't imagine life not doing what I currently do, coaching, working in HR. What I'm saying is we evolve and we move, but you can't get to the sweet spot if you give up too soon. Think about job interviews. Most of us hate them, including me. I can't be bothered. I'm really good. Just give me the job. Negotiating at those interviews can be hard, even when you're good at it. No one wants to go back and forth for what they feel like they deserve. But guess what? When you do and you get what you want, you just got to the good part. I can give you countless examples of where if you just keep going and you just keep repeating the cycle, you get to the good part. And I bet now that I'm speaking about it, you're thinking now, oh yeah, remember when I really hated that, but now I love it. Or remember when I thought I hated it, but actually it was fear. It was doubt. It was just hard because I was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm stuck. Maybe I need to ask for help. Maybe I need to do some research. Maybe I need to talk to people who have done it before so I can realize that my fears are valid, but it doesn't mean I should stop and it doesn't mean I should give up. Doing something over and over again will make it get easier. I was able to find alignment in my own career, like showing up on social media, doing the thing I didn't like to get to the part that I do like. And now When I show up online, everyone thinks I'm an extrovert. Because they're like, oh no, there's no way, Adele, you're so outgoing, you're so confident. Even on my podcast, they're like, you sound so like confident. Yeah, I'm confident in what I do. Believe in everything I'm saying. I have found alignment. So showing up on social media is fun now because I'm aligned. I'm doing what I'm good at. I'm able to support, advise, and help people by showing up online. I'm able to do the same through this podcast. I'm in the right place because I went through the part I didn't enjoy. The part that didn't feel like me, the part of me that was so scared, I went past it. Fear is never a reason to stop or not start. Fear is usually the start of everything you want. So this is what I want you to do. The next time something feels hard or unenjoyable, I want you to assess whether it could get you closer to your goal. Will it get you there faster? And will it build a skill you don't currently have? Example, didn't want to do payroll. I avoided it for years. I was a director and I avoided payroll. I let the accounts team do it. I let everyone else do it. But when they was off, sometimes I needed to do it. I would find someone else to do it. But actually learning to do it meant I built a new skill, which I could add to my CV, which now means I can ask for certain money because not only can I recruit for you, you can pay your whole team. You can use QuickBooks and run payroll for like 200 people. I can do the pension side of things. I can do holiday. I can do all these things. So it can help me with a new skill. A skill that I might not think I need, imagine later in life I will. Like now I run a business and I have freelancers who work for me and I have to pay them. And I have to know what documents that I need to check and I have to know if they're self-employed or not. And all these things, X, Y, Z, like all these things that I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't learned that skill. Assess whether it's getting you closer to your goal. When I learned payroll, now I'm going to ask you for more money. Maybe you shouldn't have told me to learn payroll because now I'm going to negotiate more money because I'm doing more in my job. I've got more responsibilities, so now I want more money. Is money one of my goals? Yes, it is. When it comes to my business, I'm assessing whether or not showing up on social media, was that going to get me closer to the goal of becoming a paid coach? Yes, because I see lots of coaches on social media using it as a tool to get clients. So whether I was enjoying it or not at first, I'm going to show up. I'm going to push past the fear and I'm going to do it anyway. So many of my old lives, I am scared as hell the whole time. Like now, usually, even if I'm nervous at the beginning, once I settle in, I'm fine. I forget that I'm even live and I'm just chatting. I'm much more comfortable. And maybe I don't totally forget I'm live because, you know, the introvert in me is very aware when other people come in the room and stuff, like I'm aware. But I feel so much more comfortable. It's not the same fear as it was before. I don't even have the fear. Once I click the live button and I start talking, I'm over it. So I want you to assess if something feels hard, it feels unenjoyable. Firstly, is it just fear? But is it getting you closer to your goal? Will it get you to your goal faster? And will it build a skill you don't currently have? The answer is yes. I'm going to need you to push past some of that discomfort. And that brings me to my second point. Are you avoiding it because of fear and discomfort? What you want is not where you currently are. Because if it was, you'd already have it. It is usually on the other side of the fear and discomfort that you do not want to push through. Fear is not going to go anywhere. So you may as well take it along with you for the ride. Accept fear is a part of the journey. Fear is a part of life. Doesn't mean we stop living. It means we learn to live with the fear. I found that the things you want most start at the point where fear begins. When you go past that fear, which doesn't mean the fear goes, like I said, it means you just do it anyway. That's when you get to the good part. One of the scariest things I ever did was leave a secure job, a secure career. And we know nowadays there's no such thing now we understand there's no such thing as a secure career. There really isn't. There's no such thing as a secure job. Anything can happen at any time. But at the time, I left a career that I'd spent 10 years building. I had an 18-month-old and I felt like my relationship was holding on by a thread. Like I felt any minute I could become a single mum because things just weren't going the way that I felt they should be. And guess what? Eventually, I did end up being a single mum, so I was fully right. But I had an 18-month-old. I had bills to pay. I had a house. I had all these things that I was responsible for. And I still did one of the scariest things I've ever done. And that was to leave my secure job and change industry and go and do something I had no idea whether I'd be good at. But I went for it and thank God I did. Because I definitely wouldn't be here now if I hadn't. That first move taught me that the only way to answer, what if it doesn't work? What if this happens? What if that happens? Is to actually go and try and do it. Because then you answer the what if, and 99% of the time, it works out. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying I just, woohoo. went to my first interview, got a job. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I sent my first application, woohoo, got shortlisted. No, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that I kept going because I made a decision and I stuck with it. Stuck with it till I got that one yes. I only needed one yes. It was a bonus that I ended up with more than one yes. It was a bonus that during a career change, going into a whole new industry, I had 2 offers to choose from. That's a bonus. That's a blessing. But regardless, even after that first no that had me in tears and was from someone I really respected in the industry, I still kept going. Because like I said, everything you want, the good part is probably on the other side of that fear. The third thing I want you to know is you need to trust yourself. No one will have your back like you do, especially when you push yourself. When I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and I had an 18-month-old and all the responsibilities in the world and I still decided to leave a secure job, it's because I trust myself. I said to myself, even if it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to childcare, go back to working in nursery, make my money. I said, even if it doesn't work out, if I don't want to go back to childcare, I'll do something else. Because there is no way in hell I'm going to put my child in a situation where she can't eat. There's no way in hell I'm going to put myself in a situation I can't eat. It means I'll do whatever job I need to do. You guys, anyone who's been listening for a long time, you know, one of my first jobs, I did a cleaning job when I was like 17 or something. Work is work. Earning an honest living is earning an honest living. Trust myself to get it done. If I have to take a job just for a job, just to pay the bills, I will. And while I'm there, I'll be working on how to find the job that I actually want. I trust myself. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself to have your own back and get it done? You have to become a leader. First, you learn to lead yourself, then you bring people with you. So when you push yourself and you go after the things you want, that's you saying to yourself, I trust me. And it's real important to trust yourself, because if you don't trust yourself, you'll never be able to get the things you want because other people will feel that doubt. So start trusting yourself, lead yourself, go forward, ask questions, ask for help. Whatever you do, don't turn back, keep going. Number 4, don't give up on the strategy. Don't give up on the plan that you've put in place. Don't give up on the goal. Yes, sometimes you might have to tweak the method, but I want you to know that just because you don't see the exact results you want immediately, chopping and changing your strategy is usually the problem. Like you had a strategy, you had a plan, and you was following it. And then you didn't get the results as quickly as you wanted them. So you chopped and changed. You mixed things up. And then you had to chop and change again because the new strategy you tried, that didn't work either. And then you changed again and you tried something and that didn't work. And guess what? 90% of the time, the first strategy was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I learned that in my business. I learned that the hard way. The first strategy was the strategy. You already knew what to do, but you just didn't follow it for long enough. When you are new to something, when you are new to a plan, when you are new to a strategy, sometimes it takes you a little while to get it right. Keep working on it until you get to the good part. Chopping and changing is actually one of the worst things you can do when it comes to your plan, it comes to your strategy. Make a decision and stick with it until you get the results, until you get the yes. Times you might need to evaluate and tweak some of the methods slightly. It doesn't mean you need to change the whole strategy. It doesn't mean you need to change the whole plan. Sometimes you just need to tweak things just a little bit. You need to learn new things. You need to get better at things. I'm not saying that that is not an option. Like I see people in my industry, I see other coaches will be, I don't know, they'll be like a career coach for 2 months. And then next thing I know, they're a money coach for like 6 months. And then the next thing I know, they're a business coach. And then 6 months after that, they're back to career coaching, but they've packaged it in a different way. And now they're a mindset coach. Do you know why? The reason they're chopping and changing most of the time, not all of the time, don't get me wrong, some people really evolve. And there's nothing wrong with evolution. But I've spoken to a lot of these coaches, and the reason they keep doing that is because they felt like the original plan wasn't working. I've seen other coaches who were online for a year disappear off the face of the earth. They no longer do coaching because they found it hard. And they might have been right on the cusp of a breakthrough. They might have been right on the edge of getting their first client. They gave up too soon. It took me 6 months to get my first client. 6 months to get my first paid client. I know people it's taken longer. I know someone it took her a year. And she is like a really big coach. Like she's a friend of mine. We became friends online. Like she's great at what she does. She's been in the biz for years, but she told me, and I love that she told me this because a lot of people won't admit it. When I first got into the business, she said to me, Adele, it took me a year to get my first client. But guess what? She kept showing up. She kept doing her thing. She kept following the strategy. She didn't change the plan because it just takes one yes. And that one yes gave her the confidence to keep going. And now she's fully booked out all the time. The journey is totally different for all of us. For some of us, it takes weeks. Some of us takes months. Some of us, it takes years. But just because it doesn't happen in the time you think it should, or it doesn't feel right because you're failing, because 90% of the time, the only reason it doesn't feel right is because you're failing. Because if you was winning, would you still be saying it doesn't feel right? Sometimes it means you just need to perfect what you're doing. You just need to tweak the plan, but you need to keep going. And 5, do you really want it? Do you really want it? So many people say, I want a business. So many people say, I want the great job. So many people say, I want the great pay. So many people say, I want to change industries. But more than half of those people will never do it because the work required, they are not willing to push past the fear and the discomfort. They are not willing to put in the effort. And that's why even successful people, do you know why only a small percentage of people in the world are what we class as super successful? And remember, success is different for all of us. That's something I've learned. What I think is successful might not be what someone else thinks is successful. A lot of people are striving for one thing. Like I know people are striving to have a mortgage and do those things. And I know other people that are striving to have the money to get a mortgage, not to live in the house, but to rent the house because they're trying to make additional streams of income. We are not all the same. But the reason you'll see people that are successful is because they're willing to do all the things I'm talking about. Do you really want it? And also, this is an important question to ask yourself as well. Because just in life in general, are you doing something because you think you're supposed to or because you truly want it? If your heart's not in it, of course, you're going to half-ass it and you're going to give up much sooner. But if you really want it, you'll find yourself constantly coming back to it. You'll find yourself constantly thinking about it. Even if you're not working towards it, you'll constantly have it in the back of your mind. Or you'll find yourself constantly wanting to find the answers so that you can achieve it. Like you're constantly like, what am I doing wrong? There's got to be a way. If you are always thinking about it, trying to figure it out, trying to look at what you did wrong, then you gave up too soon. Ask for the help. Get the right support. Get the right people in your corner. The right support is priceless. There is no value that you can put on it. Get people to help you see your blind spot. Maybe there's things that you don't notice that someone else will help you see. Get around people that motivate you. There is no point talking to people that doubt that you can do it. Misery loves company. Stop being the company or stop being the misery. Stop putting yourself around people that are like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you'll be able to do it. Do you know how many people told me it was a very bad idea, like people close to me, to leave a secure career and go after something else? When I started my business, the coaching business, I didn't tell no one. When I started my first aid company, I didn't tell no one. And when I did start to tell people, I told people that I knew would be on my side or I knew would understand, give me encouragement, would inspire me. Speak to people that I could ask questions from, that I could learn from. That's what I'm telling you. Only reason you knew is because I had questions. I needed to learn. I didn't know X, Y, and Z. And I felt like you might have the answers. That's why you knew about my business. Everyone else, you found out when you found out. Even the people I love, you found out when you found out. Because I didn't want all the noise. I didn't need the extra pressure. I already have enough noise in my own head telling me like, oh, this is too hard. What if I fail? What if this? What if that? Guys, I'm no different from anywhere else. The only difference between me and you is that I will keep going. I will push myself. I'm stubborn as hell also. And that stubbornness is very helpful. It's even the days when I'm like, I'm done, I'm giving up. I come right back and keep going because I refuse. Failure is not an option. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Keep track of all your little wins. That's really important. When I ask the question, do you really want it? One thing you need to do is keep track of all your wins. Because sometimes early on, we see little indicators that we're on the right track. Like little things, like people saying, oh my gosh, you're so good at this or well done at this. Like little indicators, you notice them. But because maybe, like especially in business, you haven't been paid for it yet. Or in your career, because maybe you haven't got the pay rise yet. Or because maybe you haven't been offered the job yet. But like someone got back to you and said, listen, we're not offering you, but I did really enjoy meeting you. We had someone who was a bit stronger. If it was literally between you two, but you don't believe them. But the truth is that's an indicator. That's an indicator that you're on the right track. Pay attention to those things. Because sometimes the indicators come long before the reward. Sometimes the indicators are showing up like, well done, you're doing really well. I love listening to your content. I love hearing your podcast. I love watching your stories. I love your TikToks. I love your work ethic. I love how you've been able to do this. You supported the team really well today. That might be indicators that the promotion is coming. And maybe that your next job is just to go and ask and be like, oh, guess what? I want promotion. Because all the indicators was already there. But instead, you didn't ask for the promotion, you didn't ask for the pay rise, and you just left the job. And now you're in another job that you don't enjoy that much, that still doesn't even pay that much more than the first job, but the indicators were there, you gave up too soon. I want all of us to keep going till we get to the good part. I want all of us to stay on track. Stop changing the goal, tweak the methods, and stay focused and stick to it. The road is sometimes rocky, but when you get to that sweet spot, you'll look back and be like, every rocky road was worth it. Listen, anyone who's listening to this episode and feels like they've given up on something too soon, go back to it. There are no rules. Rules are guidelines. There are no rules. There are no regulations in your life. If you've given up on something too soon, go back, try. Let my clients be a testimony to you to understand that I have clients who have told me they were trying for years and then 12 weeks working together gets it done. You might just need to give yourself another 12 weeks. You might just need to give yourself another 4 weeks. Everything you've learned from before might just be what you need to implement now to get it done and to get a different result this time. If that's in a career change and you want support, my support specifically, reach out, book a call with me. Let's talk about how we can get you to that sweet spot, how we can get you to the good part, and how you can not give up too soon, how you can not give up before you get there. Let's get you that one yes, that's all it takes to change everything, that one yes to change career, that one yes to get the 30K extra on your salary, that one yes that you might feel like you want to give up on. Reach out, book a call with me, and let's talk about Create Your Own Lane. Because Create Your Own Lane is designed to stop you giving up before you get to the good part. Anyway, I cannot wait to speak to you guys on another episode. This year so far has been so much fun recording these episodes. So yeah, let's speak again in the next one.
I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.